So let's go into the final question, which is the question 3 of lab 2. We are asked to create an ADT, which is an interface for the UNO card, and it contains two methods. One is to draw the card, another one is to return the toString to display all the cards being drawn. And yeah, we can draw like 7 times and display all the cards that we have in hand, and also do it for array and linked list implementation. So it means we have an interface and we need to implement it 2 times. One time is a class that implement with array, another one is implemented with the linked list. So have a look at my code. So we can see the UNO interface here. So look at this interface. I have one method which is a draw card with n, which indicating the number of cards we want to draw. So this is only the interface. I didn't put the toString method because toString is inherited by default already by all the objects. So we have the UNO interface and we have a class card. So because you see this UNO interface, it is not actually a UNO card. It represents the number of cards that a player have, or it represents a utility functions for a player to draw cards and to store some cards. So it is not directly related to a single card. So when doing the object-oriented programming, I prefer doing it in the logical way. So I will have another class which is a card, and this card is the data structure that contains the color as well as the number. Yeah, and also we have some toString method to display the card in color space number format. So this class card will be used in our UNO implementation. So have a look at this UNO implementation that implements the UNO interface. At first, the constructor will ask for the users to pass in the card deck. So imagine when you are playing a card game, the number of cards you have on the deck is constant, right? So it means it's shared, it's a static one, it's shared among different classes. So if let's say if you are playing a two-player card games, after the player 1 has drawn a card from the card deck, the number of cards at the deck will be reduced by 1. And this card will be never able to be taken by other players already because you already take it and the player 2 cannot take the same card already. So I need to maintain this card in one deck, which is the card deck. And this card deck is not handled only by one UNO class, but it can be handled by several classes according to the number of players we have. So this is the reason why we want to store the card deck and pass it as the parameter, so we can refer to it anytime we want to draw a card. Later you'll see why do I do this already. Okay, so we also initialize my card, which is the number of cards that I currently have, which by default is 0. So this is a toString method. toString method, I will iterate through my card and call the card.toString, concatenate it, and return the end result. So this is where the magic occurs. Draw card. So we need to draw it n times, right? So I need to have a outer for loop which iterate for n times. And at first, I will check the card deck first. Okay. So the card deck is the deck which I know yet on. There are maybe you are playing the UNO, maybe by default there are 70 cards. So the n will be 70 at first. Yeah, not the n, the card deck of size. Then if it is 0, it means everyone has already taken all the cards. So the card deck is empty now. If the card deck is empty, I need to tell the user that, oh, you cannot draw card anymore. Then I will call a return function to skip everything below here. So I will just return the void method, which is a draw card, because I cannot draw card anymore now. Okay, after I check this 0 condition, I will generate a random number based on the index. So this index is between 0 and card deck size. So if the card deck size is 4, if there are 4 cards inside, so the random number being generated will be between the range of 0 and 3. Right? So I get a random number now, and I will remove the particular card from the card deck. So remember, the use of the card deck is to keep track of the current card we have and to avoid us from drawing the same card over and over again. And after I remove the card, I need to add the card to my hand. So this is my card. I remove one from the card deck and add one into my card. And I'll print out saying that, oh, I already draw this card. Okay, and I will do this for n times or until the card deck is empty. Well, this is our main method. At first, we'll have a Uno deck. This is the card deck. Okay, then after this, I will insert the card into the deck. So in current situation, I only add 3 cards, which is yellow 1, red 2, and blue reverse. You can add whatever number of cards you want to the deck. And I initialize 2 players. And because of this player being never mind. So I am using a polymorphism, which is parent, which is the interface, and this is the solid implementation. Okay, so it doesn't matter you want to use a polymorphism or you just want to create a Uno class. That's up to you. Then I will just pass in the Uno tag inside. So both are using the same Uno tag. If you have a look here, player 1 and player 2 are using the same Uno tag. Then the player 1 will draw 2 cards, player 2 will draw 2 cards. And after this, I will print out, okay, the current cards that player 1 has and the player 2 has. So as you can see, I put 3 cards here, but I attempted to draw 4 cards. So we can try to run the program and see what will happen. Call the run method. Okay, now you can see these 2 cards are owned by the player 1, and player 2 attempted to draw 2 cards, but it's shown that when it attempts to draw the 4th card, it shows that it cannot draw card anymore because the card deck is already empty. So when you are printing it, player 2 only has 1 card. So this is one of the ways that we can do to make sure that we are maintaining the same deck by referring via the parameter. Yeah, so that's it for the solution, and I hope that you can think of uh, a better way of maintaining your items in OOP. Yeah, in OOP it's really important to differentiate between the variables that's being referenced and also the variables that, okay, no matter how much you change, it doesn't affect other classes. So you can study the codes again and try to get your own idea on how you think it will be more clear for you to implement. Yeah, so that's it. See ya.